Conflicts are part of law firm life. Every attorney knows that. You've cleared conflicts since your first week at a firm. It's administrative, it's routine. Most of the time, you handle it and just move on. But I want to talk about a different category of conflicts today. Not the routine clearance of individual matters. I want to talk about conflicts as a structural feature of your practice, and specifically, the moment when that structure stops being a manageable inconvenience and starts being an actual career barrier. I'm Andrew Wilcox, legal recruiter since 2003. I've watched more lateral moves than I can count be directly precipitated by conflicts and platform restrictions. And the thing that strikes me every time is how slowly attorneys recognize what's happening. The accumulation is gradual. One piece of business you couldn't take, one referral you had to redirect, one client conversation that ended with, "We'll have to check on that." And then the check didn't go your way. Each incident feels isolated. Over time, they're not. Let me break down what I actually mean when I talk about conflicts and platform restrictions as career barriers, because there are several distinct versions of this problem. Version 1, the firm's existing client base systematically blocks yours. This is the most common version. Your firm has a long-standing relationship with major clients, legacy representations, and the conflict footprint of those clients is enormous. Every time you try to pursue a certain type of work in a certain industry, on a certain side of a transaction or dispute, you run into that footprint. You're not being blocked by bad policy, you're being blocked by the firm's own success with other clients. But the effect on your practice is the same. Growth that should be yours isn't. Version 2, the firm won't take certain kinds of work at all. Some firms have institutional positions on types of matters. Plaintiff-side work, contingency arrangements, certain industries, government representations, politically sensitive engagements. If your practice naturally overlaps with those areas and the firm won't go there, you're not just losing individual matters, you're constrained in the direction your practice can develop. You can't serve the clients you've built because of what the firm already has. Now, this is subtler and in some ways more damaging. You have a client relationship, something you built, something you care about. And over time, the firm's expansion into adjacent areas has created a standing conflict. You can't take certain matters for that client anymore. You can't grow that relationship the way you should be able to. The firm has, in effect, turned one of your best assets into something you can't fully utilize. The next version is the conflicts infrastructure itself is the problem. Some firms have conflicts processes that are slow, opaque, or systematically conservative in ways that create friction regardless of the ultimate outcome. You're losing business not because the conflict is real, but because by the time you get an answer, the client has already gone somewhere else. If this is a recurring pattern, it is a practice management problem and a business development problem, whether or not it ever rises to the level of an actual professional responsibility issue. So, how do you know when you've crossed the line from manageable to barrier? Well, there's a few clear markers. The first one is if you're regularly redirecting business. If you have clients you consistently can't take full advantage of, matters you're consistently sending to other firms, and the revenue impact of that is meaningful, you are experiencing a structural tax on your practice. Next, if your growth projections depend on areas where your firm's conflict footprint prevents you from competing, your ceiling is set by something outside your control. You can be the best attorney in your market and still be stuck because the firm you're at won't let you play the game. And the next one is, if you've ever had the "I'm sorry, we have a conflict" conversation with a client more than once, pay attention to how they react. Clients understand the occasional conflict, but a pattern of conflicts where every time they bring something to you, you can't handle it. That pattern damages the relationship. They start to wonder whether you're the right firm for them. And when clients start wondering that, you should be wondering that too. So, what to do about it? Start by actually mapping the problem. Most attorneys know abstractly that conflicts are an issue, but they haven't sat down and calculated what it's costing them. So, do that. What business have you redirected in the last 2 years? What is the revenue value of that business? And what relationships have been affected? When you put actual numbers to the abstract feeling of conflicts are a problem, it often changes how you think about the urgency. Then understand what a different platform would actually give you. Not every firm has the same conflict footprint. Not every firm has the same restrictions on matter types or client representations. Part of what market intelligence, real market intelligence, not just what's on a firm's website, gives you is a genuine picture of where your practice could breathe. The worst thing you could do is stay in a situation where conflicts are compounding year after year, where the cost keeps accumulating, and where the opportunity cost of staying is higher than you've let yourself calculate. Conflicts are not just legal friction. For too many attorneys, they're a career friction that nobody ever names directly. I'm naming it. I'm Andrew Wilcox. This is a lateral brief. If you'd like to have a confidential discussion about your career goals and your practice, please email me at andrew@wilcox-legal.com. As always, grateful, Andrew Wilcox.